Hello and welcome to another garden update. I know this may be getting old by now that I'm doing these reveals like this, but really, you will be surprised. So, this week's plans. At this point, they don't even look like individual plants anymore. It's just a mess, a jungle of different herbs all together. So, yeah. So this is this week's garden. Everything is nothing's major. I don't think any plants have gotten way bigger relative to others. Things have been going at a pretty constant rate relative to each other. The dill is probably the biggest plant not by far. The tomato plants are pretty close, but the dill is definitely the biggest plant in the garden. Now you can see now why I didn't put plants in every pod, because if they didn't get the head start that these big plants did, those plants in the middle probably would be dead by now, because these things have exploded. I've been trying to prune back some of these leaves and control especially the dill. I've harvested a bunch of dill to try to give that innocent little basil a chance to grow. And then there's that little tomato plant back there that's not really disturbed. Nothing's grown and nothing's tried to conquer it yet. So yeah, these two tomato plants are playing nice with each other. There's a little bit of a war going on across who gets to have the middle area there. But they are, if I try and separate them, you can sort of see this one is pretty much smaller, but they're not it's not in danger really. So that. In fact, I think this tomato plant is probably bigger than the dill. The dill just looks big because it's all fluffy, but the tomato plant is probably bigger. That basil is pretty much getting by, and the dill even, you can't really see because it's there, but there's a little bit of dill up there, out on the sides. It's really going nuts. So I'm going to have to prune more and more aggressively to keep the things in check. And this forces me to actually start to have to use my own plants, which is a challenge because I don't cook every day. So yeah, that's this garden. Station's not any different. And over here, so we are at an exciting stage. Every single bud has sprouted here. They all look unique and interesting. You have, just to review, the sage in there is pretty normal. Chamomile, which is like tea. Thyme. Chives? I don't know. Not really. In fact, I see a little bit of mold that may not be doing very well. I might have to fix something. But the lavender's doing well. Oregano's doing okay. And the cilantro is so big that I actually got to take off the cap. So that's the only one on this garden without a cap. The rosemary is cool. And I personally like the mint because I think all those cute little leaves. So all of these guys I miss when that garden was as serene and peaceful as this garden, but this one probably won't stay this way for long. It's already day 15, but I think by next week, maybe the month mark, these guys will start to get out of control, just like those. And these ones, I'm not sure about, because there are two more plants here. If you imagine the other garden, there's the basil and the tomato plants and the tomato plant and the basil and the dill. I also I filled in all of these. I'm kind of not counting the chives because I think they're probably dead. Those probably are doomed. If they sprout, then that'll be another one. But I also have the oregano and thyme, which will complicate things even further because everybody's going to be fighting for independence. I think it's really going to come down to who grows fastest and who gets dibs on the light itself, because as you can see here, the tomato plants sort of have much more got the surface area first, and the basil is not really having it. I'm worried about the tomato plant. I think the dill is going to make an aggression, as well as that other tomato plant over there. But yeah, that tomato plant is going to try to attack that one. So it is full on war. Those ones are peaceful. And yes. Oh, also, one last thing is that I filled, it's already at med, I had to fill it for the first time in this garden's history a couple days ago, which just shows you how quickly things change. Because it took me, it took an entire month for these to soak up one full thing of water from seed, but now they're already close to halfway down, and it's only been a few days, which is just, it's unbelievable to me. Everyone bless the basils and that tomato plant and give them good passage in being able to get some sun and nutrients. So, good luck, plants. These ones are just so cute. I think these are going to be my new emotional support plants.